Hi, welcome back. We're finding out more about krill oil. What is it and what could make this valuable source for our body to become healthier?
I spoke to Dr. Chad Walding to find out. He is a doctor of physical therapy and co-founder of NativePath, as well as an STP-certified nutrition specialist. Take a look. Good morning, Chad. Good to have you back. Today we're talking about krill oil. I'll be really honest, I have not heard about it before, so why don't we start with what is it and what about it benefits the body?
So krill oil comes from krill. These are tiny shrimp-like creatures that live in very cold ocean waters, and it contains omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, and it's beneficial for reducing inflammation. Inflammation is something that's chronic in our culture today, from ultra-processed foods and sugar, and it's also beneficial for reducing pain and improving blood flow.
So a lot of things to break down here. Let's start with omega-3. So you mentioned one of the main reasons, right, people take the supplement is for omega-3. Can you tell me about how it compares to fish oil?
Yeah, when people hear omega-3, they typically, the first thing they think is fish oil, right? But there's two problems with fish oil relative to krill oil. So number one, with fish oil, it's almost always tainted with pollutants and toxins, which really prevent fish oil from working well. It comes from oceans where there's oil spills and nuclear disasters, and high levels of mercury can be found in those waters, and I simply don't trust it. And the second issue with fish oil is that it doesn't get absorbed in the human body very well relative to krill oil. And there's research that actually validates this. So they've compared krill oil to fish oil, and scientists have found fish oil to be 50% less absorbable compared to krill oil. So we really waste our money on fish oil. And the unique thing about krill oil, it comes in a specific layer called phospholipid, and this specific layer is found in every cell of your body. So it makes krill oil more absorbable and more potent. So it's very clear that a far better source of omega-3s is krill oil. It's not just more absorbable, but it comes from a better source with the pristine waters of the Antarctic Ocean, where it's not so polluted.
That's very important information, because to know that part of it just basically goes to waste. And I think the other thing that you had mentioned in the first answer was inflammation, which I really want to touch on as well. What are the effects that inflammation can have on our body? And by that I mean, how would it express itself in everyday life if there is a large amount of inflammation versus not?
Yeah, so inflammation is one of those things, it's a root cause of so many of the chronic health issues that we face today, from cardiovascular health to digestive health to our mood, our energy, specifically our pain, right? So when we fix the inflammation issue, which again is coming largely from the things that we eat, the things we drink in our modern culture, we begin to fix a lot of different things. One of the big reasons why we're so inflamed in our culture is because we're consuming far too much omega-6 fatty acids. These are industrial seed oils, and we get not near enough omega-3s. So omega-6s can be very inflammatory to the body. Omega-3s can really remove a lot of that inflammation and help us feel better.
So is that also where the pain would come from? Because I was pretty surprised when it was mentioned that perhaps krill oil would be a better alternative to ibuprofen.
Yeah, so when people think about pain and what to do about it, they typically think ibuprofen. They're told it's going to mask their pain and help them feel better. But you know, as a physical therapist, people come to me in pain a lot, and I typically hear them say they've been taking ibuprofen. But ibuprofen and really all of these over-the-counter NSAIDs, they come with a long list of side effects, and that could be constipation, headaches, nausea. The big thing these things do is they damage the gut, right? And when you poke holes in the intestinal lining, you allow foreign particles to get into the bloodstream. That then sets off more inflammation. It gives us more pain. So people get caught in this trap of taking ibuprofen for their pain, but they get addicted to it as it keeps them in that inflammation cycle. And we have to remember, you know, ibuprofen is just masking the pain. It's just numbing the pain. The root issue really behind most of the pain we experience is inflammation. And one of the best ways to fix that is with omega-3s. They've actually done studies on omega-3s and found that in just 7 days, you can drop joint pain by 7%, by 28%. So it's extremely effective in reducing your pain.
Go to the source of the issue, basically. And the ingredients that you guys source, it mentions on the packaging, is from the Antarctic, right? And as a consumer, how big of an issue should contamination be when it comes to choosing our supplements?
Yeah, contamination, it's in so many things. It's in our food, it's in the water that we drink, it's in the air that we breathe. So in this modern culture that we live in, this modern day, it's really everything to really minimize the toxicity and maximize the nutrition and what you're getting. When we're taking in toxic substances, it can result in all kinds of side effects, from nervousness to numbness to muscle weakness to nausea. But the big thing I think it does, it can damage our gut and it can damage our nervous system. So purity and excellence in what we put in our body is really, really important.
Got it. Well, I think, first of all, in our show, in the beginning, in the middle, and end, we see that there is a great deal at the moment for krill oil. So if anybody wants to check that out, they should. As for us, I think this was incredibly insightful, super interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Chad Walding. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Evelyn.